What a day it has been. It's it started out a little rough, but the work of God shall never end. And we ended up driving some distances, fixing some problems, and we finally have our first shipment off. What we've been doing so far is having our teammates purchase things in Kingston and drive them to St. Elizabeth, to Silo. All right. And we try to fan out as much as possible to the surrounding areas. We haven't gotten to every community yet, but every day we try to go further and further into the other communities. And today we were able to get, um, well, we finished packing, all right, and our stuff is now in the hands of DHL. And I must tell you, a big thank you to DHL. DHL sees what we're doing. They knows what we're doing. They know what we're doing. They appreciate what we're doing, and they have joined with us. They even gave us a donation to get more stuff to send to Jamaica. So I want to say a big, big, big thank you to DHL. All their workers were so very nice and accommodating, and they assisted us so well. So even though the day started out rough, I tell you, the work of God must go on. And at the end, such a beautiful day, such a beautiful day. I also was able to get a hold of one of my staff members who I hadn't heard from. She had a baby recently, so I was really very worried. She lives in one of those adjoining communities that I really want to get in, but the way there is blocked. But I just heard about another way to get in, so we're gonna get in, right? Yeah, baby must be cared for. And so we're getting more and more, and we're hearing more and more, and we're receiving calls from various people there. Yes, why? Because that backup battery is there, and the Starlink is there. Persons were able to charge their phones and get on Starlink and call. Yeah, this one, we don't play around. My mother lives there, so my first priority was her. But my mother, we were raised when we were younger. We were going to church. We would be at when we were going to school every morning. We would get our little bags of stuff, milk or whatever from the farm, and we would use this to walk there, that to walk there to give to persons in the community, right? So we were raised with that philanthropic spirit. All right. So as stuff is sent, we just distribute. My mother, they don't even think about, do I have enough for tomorrow? It's making sure that everyone gets today. And so for that reason, okay, and thanks to DHL, we're going to try to get a pallet of stuff on their planes every day if we can. Every day, every day. All right. So I actually reached out to a few people to say, if you would like us to support you in getting your stuff down, because, there are areas that the government doesn't get to very readily. They put out a list of when electricity is going to be in certain areas, and none of the areas that I'm working with is on that list. All right. So it's not until next year before they get it. So those solar panels, the mobile solar panels with a backup generator, they're going to be very, very critical for persons even going into the holidays, because they're not on the list for this year. So it's not until next year before these areas that we are concentrating on is going to be looked at. Okay. But I'm just thanking God that I'm here for a time like this, and that I can do something to help to relieve families and to give comfort to others, because there are others, as we said, we're not hearing from family members. Some of them, when they give me the information, I'll ask my team members, can you go there and check on this person? Can you go there and check on that person? All right, but for the silo community now with the Starlink, so now we're going to try to get a Starlink into every community, and that's 15, right? 15. So if we can have a backup battery and a Starlink set up, persons can go charge their phones and connect and make connections with the families. That's what we want. Communication is one of the basic needs of life. So food, water, well, I should say water, food, shelter, connection. Okay. So that's our goal, and we're sticking to it. We do get calls from time to time about persons in other areas outside of our scope. We started with 13, we're now at 15, and we're just going to keep it at that. All right, because there's a lot to be done, and we're not trying to be heroes to everybody. Okay, we want to reach the unreached. All right, and yes, we do go outside of our 15, but it's not to take on a community. All right, so once again, if somebody needs to make contact with someone and we have a connection there, then we don't mind doing that. We may not even mind sending, you know, the packages, etc. there, but not to take on the community. All right, we're going to stick now with the 15 that we have right here. And when I have touched everyone in those 15, then I'll consider other communities. But I first need to conquer what I have in my hand, right? And so that's what our plan is. But I just wanted to give you this update. I am so happy. I thank you to all of those who have contributed. We have two of my classmates from high school. Yay! They're contributing, and we have, as I said, DHL and my family members up in the US. They're contributing also. And so we want to say thank you. Okay. And I'll put our information in the chat here, just in case you want to, get in contact with us or even help us with this process. I am also a part of a team, okay, that is trying to get healthcare workers into Manchester, St. Elizabeth. All right, and maybe Clarendon. I think there are some parts of Clarendon that needs their help as well. And so we're actually asking for companies or individuals to join us to help to sponsor the airfare for some of these nurses. They're willing to go, but considering the cost of airfare and transportation there and food to eat and somewhere to sleep, etc., the cost builds up, and they want to give their time. So we want to be able to get them there. So if you would like to sponsor, it's a group of 5 healthcare professionals who've come together, and we call ourselves Healthcare Hands Across Jamaica. All right, there's information on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. All right, so we ask you to support that as well. If you are sending money to me for that reason, I ask that you tag it nurse. Okay, all right. And so that way it goes into the right pool, because getting healthcare professionals, and it's not just nurses we're looking for. I'm just a nurse, so like the first thing that comes out of my mouth sometimes. We're trying to get healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses assistants, physical therapists, mental health counselors, right? All a part of it. Persons to even teachers, right? Or youth workers that can help with the children. Children are traumatized. You have children sleeping out there with no roof. They may still be in a building structure, but no roof, no windows, no doors, etc. And of course, it's damp and wet Okay. So I cannot tell you, my list just keeps going and going and going and going, but one step at a time, and we are going to get there. So just getting back to the group healthcare, hands across Jamaica. If you want to help to sponsor a nurse to get into Jamaica, the information is on the social media. If you're going to send it through our contact, my contact, Parish Global Ministries Inc., you need to tag it. If you tag it health or nurse, I'll know it is to go specifically to that project. All right. And of course, whenever we receive donations, we send a certificate acknowledging receipt, and then it's logged in our books. So, we want to make sure that 100% of what we get goes into this mission. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars already. All right, because we don't want to be selfish. But the first instinct was my mother. That was the first thing. I'm not going to let my mother sit and wait until government to get to her, right? And once again, from there, when you think about my mother, you start to think about the mothers. My my job and the charity has always focused on the elderly and children. Okay, so after I thought about my mother, and we think about the community, we think we need to protect the children. That's the focus of one of our organization's mandate: children, and then also the elderly. All right, so there's so many different things to consider, and as I said, I've reached out to others to say, let us know how we can support you in getting things to Jamaica. All right. So whomever wants to take up on that, sure. But as I said before, our focus is on these 15 areas. But if a person has they want to reach, we'll try to make it happen. The good thing about our organization is that we have teams in Jamaica, and most of them are mobile. Okay, one of the team members actually packed stuff into a suitcase and walked on the road with that suitcase to hand out food, etc. Okay, now we have the Starlink set up, and so we've made the our our yard, the roof is mashed up and everything. The main house is not habitable. The gazebo is flattened. The chicken coop is gone, things like that. But we recognize that the best place to make our staging area is right there because we have a nice big yard space. So we'll put out tables, persons can come, charge their batteries, get connected to LinkedIn. We'll cook and we'll get it out into the communities, and all the little bags that we have to make with various items. I have so many different lists from so many different people. So we're going to try to compile them so that we don't have duplicates. But it's good to know what one person's priority needs are so that we can customize to them so they don't get something that they don't need. All right, everybody needs food, everybody needs water, everybody needs connection. Those are basic needs. Some people have a roof over their heads, so not everybody's going to need tarpaulin, or at least not right away. Some people still have uh, beds, right? So they may not need a cot or a sleeping bag, right? So we want to make sure that the people get exactly what they need. Not to worry, we have the time and we have the patience to make that happen. Once again, one step at a time. All right. And so we we want to let everybody know, especially in the Salo, Makati, Vauxhall, Coca, Appleton, Thornton, Williamsfield, Aberdeen, Quick Step, Belomans, uh, Roses Valley, Balaclava, Union, Silo, Appleton, Maskitapata. All of you know that you're not forgotten. Okay, we remember you, we love you, we want you to live, 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 and we're coming. Not to worry, we're coming. All right, so will the Lord be with you all, and thank you so much for your time. I'll give information in the description so you can take a look and continue to support us. Okay, thank you. Big up to DHL. Thank you so much. And thank you to my friends and my family who've been supporting us so far. And for the strangers, or they're not strangers anymore, the persons who have called, we've received call even from England to find about family members. We're with you, and we'll do our best. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. That's my update.